Hello, this is OverlordBou, and today I'm going to be covering the newest Pan-Asian BB, the Tier 9 Taihang. Now, while this ship was never built, the Taihang may have existed in a very alternative universe that saw the construction of a Japanese Iwami-class battleship. So, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this ship. So, this ship is able to be gotten for free in the upcoming adventure event. If you obtain all the possible free adventure tokens and exchanges the coal and credits and free XP for the additional tokens, you can get this ship for free, or the Dutch Commander. You can get either or for free. And if you want to get both, you're going to have to purchase additional event tokens to make up for any that have been missed. So pretty much this ship is a tier 9 Slava in the sense where you're going to be using mostly just AP. This ship has Russian guns with a Japanese hull. And I'll get into more statistics as we get down into the nitty gritty of the video today. So let's talk about what this main ship is, which are the guns. So this ship uses the same guns as the Soyuz, but with a slightly different characteristics for her shells. The APs are higher from value, which gives her the better AP pen, while our HE have less drag at reducing travel time. However, the most notable difference in the guns is the difference of the dispersion that this ship has. Now, her accuracy scales very differently, being less accurate than other BBs under 8 kilometers, but it rapidly pulling ahead past 12 kilometers due to her vertical dispersion scaling. So that vertical dispersion remaining tight even at long distances, your shots won't land both in front and behind the enemy as often. So just like a Slava. This makes this ship a great sniping ship, able to land pinpoint shells even near max range on vulnerable targets. The only downside though is you do have a lack of spotter plane, so if you need to shoot into smoke, otherwise her guns represent the gold standard for sniping battleships, which is why I call this ship pretty much like the MiniSlava in a sense. It's literally a tier 9 Slava, pretty much. So let's, with the guns out of the way, let's talk about the hull. So the hull has the same as a Iwami. When you build into it, you have 84,000 HP. So when you have the HP flag, you have about 84,000 HP. Base is 80,700, which is very good for a tier 9 battleship. It doesn't have the best armor though. It does have a 32mm bow / stern and deck. It is downgraded from the Iwami's deck armor, which is higher than that. You do get a standard damage control party, but you get one less heal, unfortunately, which is quite sad, but oh well. You do get a 37% torpedo protection, which is really nice. So like I said earlier, this ship uses the exact same hull as the Iwami, but it's definitely more fragile due to her thinner deck armor and one less repair party. Now, that 32mm deck armor is especially problematic since as most HE will easily cut through her armor. Yeah, at tier 9 and tier 10, there's a lot of cruisers that have above 32mm HE pen, and they'll be slicing through your deck like no tomorrow. So you definitely need to play this ship more long distance. If you play closer, you're going to be more vulnerable to that farm as well. So it's definitely less of an issue unless circumstances force you to push into closer ranges, like I was saying. So that's the whole, the main armaments. Again, the guns are they're 8 406mm guns with Slava dispersion. So they're inaccurate at close range, but very accurate at long range. You do have a slow 32-second reload for the guns with a 23.1 kilometer range and a very slow turret traverse of 45 seconds. Now, it's not as slow as a Yamato, but it's still definitely slow. You do have excellent firing angles, 25 degrees off of the bow and 27 degrees off of the stern. Also, the rear closest turret is also 360. So when you're angled about into a target, you're able to always have 3 guns firing. So it's always nice when you do that, but when you're cutting away, you're only going to have really 2 guns firing when you're wiggling back and forth. While if you're bow into a target, you'll be able to get 3 guns a lot easier onto the target. So moving on, let's talk about the secondaries. Is there secondaries on this thing? No, don't even worry about that. There is no secondaries. Don't worry about them at all. So don't build into them. For torpedoes, it does get the Pan Asia special of having deep water torpedoes. You get 4 533mm torpedoes on each side, which have a 10-kilometer range and a 131-second reload. These torpedoes are pretty bad and have a pretty bad launching platform. The only time you'll really be using these is in a 1v1 scenario where you're just trying to do a drive-by in another battleship. And yeah, they'll do really good. They'll do really good against like a drive-by, or if someone's running at you and you're kind of kiting away, then yeah, sure, you can hit them. But a lot of the time, they're going to be kind of useless with the ranges that you're going to be kind of playing. For the anti-air, you do get surprisingly decent anti-air for this ship. You get 102 DPS for long, 179 for mid, and 282 for short. It doesn't really matter though, since you're a tier 9 battleship, and a lot of time you get put into a tier 10 match. And you can also deal with super CVs, so yeah. Super CV sees you, they're just gonna go after you, and you're gonna be cooked for breakfast. So, quite a fun time. You do get the typical tier 9 BB ASW, so it's normal, it's good for what it is. Maneuverability, it's the same mediocre maneuverability as the Wami, with a 28.2 knot top speed. With the speed flag, it goes to about 30 knots, and you get a 880 meter turning radius with a 17.1 second rudder shift. Now, though her rudder shift is actually explicitly turns 3 seconds slower for some reason, compared to the Awami. None of that matters, since range, your main defense is your ally anyway, because getting close, you're going to be a lot of pain. So a lot of time, you're just going to be firing really far back. So for concealment, you get a best 13.6 kilometer concealment surface, and for aerial, it's 10.5 kilometers for the aerial. Definitely a really bad surface detection. It's pretty much as bad as tier 10 battleships, so it really sucks at tier 9. It's not really an issue, since you'll be sniping past 14 kilometers normally anyway, so you still want to build into max detection, as you really don't want to get exposed all the time, thanks to your vulnerable citadel and weak armor. For consumables, you only get 2. You get the standard damage control party and the standard BB heal, but with 1 less charge, which really sucks for a BB with how often they get farmed. So kind of unfortunate in that regard. So what do I think about this ship overall? Overall, I definitely say that this ship is a decent, if one-dimensional ship that overly specializes at long-range combat, pretty much just like the Slava sniping playstyle. It uses the Awami hull and the Soyuz guns as the base with this playstyle. She's designed to sit pretty much past like 16 kilometers, snipe vulnerable ships with her railgun ballistics, and with her 23-kilometer range, she can even cross-map snipe enemies in smaller maps, though you don't get a spotter to increase this range. Kind of sad in that regard. Now, if you're the kind of player who likes sitting in the back but don't want or can't get a Slava, then this ship is definitely going to be a good choice for you. But if you want a more versatile ship, then it's better to get something else. So that's my overall review on the ship. Now, a lot of you are going to be asking, is it worth to get this ship or the Dutch Commander? Because in this same adventure event, you can get either this ship or the Dutch Commander for free. My observation is most players should just get the Dutch Commander, right? Most players should. Because if you saw with the Pan America Commander, we have no idea when that commander is coming back. He's been on kind of a hiatus, and we have no information when he's returning. So I wouldn't really trust when he's returning, if or at all. He may at the end of the year, in the middle of the year. We have no say, and when he's returning, we've been asking and asking and asking, and they haven't been able to give us any information publicly. So I think that with this Dutch commander, if you don't get it this event, it's going to be gone for a very long time. So I would say if you have any interest in the Dutch at all, any of their ships, any of them at all, then get the Dutch commander. If you have no interest in the Dutch playstyle or the Dutch ships at all, then get this ship instead. But this ship definitely specializes in the Slava playstyle, so if you enjoy that playstyle, then sure, definitely get this ship. You can also, it is also a tier 9 battleship, so you are able to farm a lot of credits with this ship. That was going to be my other reason to get this ship, is because tier 9 ships, tier 9 premium ships have the best credit earning potential in the game. So if you don't have any premiums or you don't want to spend any money on premiums, you can get this tier 9 for free, as long as you get all the available free adventure tokens, and you're going to be able to farm credits in this ship along with Commander XP for the Pan Asians and Pan Asia line, as well as free XP as well. So the ship is a great credit farmer, Commander XP farmer, and free XP farmer. So you could get it with that if you don't have, you know, the money or resources available to get a lot of premium ships, because again, like, it's really expensive to buy premiums. Now they do have a lot of availability. They do have a lot of coal ships that are available at tier 9 that you're able to just farm coal and get tier 9 ships that way. So you can farm credits that way with those ships, and I have videos on those as well. So if you guys are looking for more of like a free, or like you want to get the Dutch commander but you're looking for other tier 9 options, you can check out those videos as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there. But overall, the ship is a sniper playstyle. If you don't like that sniper playstyle, then I wouldn't recommend the ship, and just get the Dutch commander instead. But anyway, at this point in the video, I'm gonna turn it over to the build, so you guys can take a look at the build that I recommended. Also, if I'm actually curious if you guys are more interested in getting this ship or the special legendary Dutch commander. So let me know in the comments down below if you're deciding to get this ship or the special Dutch commander. All right, so let's take a look at the Taihang's build. So for the equipment, I have main armament. Second slot is going to be DCP. Third slot is going to be aiming. Fourth is going to be propulsion. Fifth is concealment, and sixth is reload. This build is typical of any battleship build. So yeah, if you're used to playing battleship, this is a typical build. Tank build, gun build. You're going into those, so you're more tanky, and you have more concealment and better gun accuracy and reload. So with these ships, we only come with a 19-point commander since it's tier 9. So here is the build that I have for a 19-point commander. For a 21-point commander, I'll tell you what it is in a second. So first one would be preventative maintenance, because the guns seem to get knocked out a lot on this ship. Unfortunately, yeah. And the HE isn't really that great on this ship either, so I'd rather just take this than the gun feeder. In the second slot, it'd be grease the gears. This will be your 3-point commander. For your 6-point commander, it's going to be adrenaline rush is going to be next. For your 10-point commander, it's going to be fire prevention. And then for your 14-point commander, it's going to be concealment. You can do concealment or the emergency repair expert first. It's more of a personal preference. Me personally, I would do emergency repair expert first, so that'd be your 14-point commander. Then concealment expert would be your 18-point. And then finally, the final skill you would take is going to be the super heavy AP, since you will be mainly just using AP all the time in this ship and not using HE. So I'll take the super heavy AP to get that damage up for the ship. So what do you guys think about the ship? Let me know in the comments if you're going to be choosing the Taihang or the Dutch commander. I'm actually really curious which one you guys are going to be picking. Me personally, I'm going to be taking the Dutch commander. I want that a lot more than I do the Taihang. So Yeah, sorry, Taihang. Even though you can be got for free, I would still like to get that commander over you. So, unfortunately. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next one.